Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode, another amazing episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Virtual Engagement Ideas Summit with our great friend, Richard Mahler, joining us all the way from Florida. He just recently survived a vicious, dangerous, overwhelming hurricane, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, you should know that we are talking to a published author. A few of his articles have been in Campus Activities Programming magazine. We are talking to not only a hurricane survivor, but the recipient of the National Association for Campus Activities, Sharonda H. Smith Outstanding New Professional Award. What? Congratulations! And you guided the new Student Government Program Board to the NACA Board of Excellence Award. Look at you, you're an award winner, you're the man! Okay, hold on, I'm not done. You went to college in University of South Carolina, upstate. Where you got your master's. You got your master's in Florida, and now you are the assistant director of student activities and involvement at Florida Atlantic. In this position, you oversee a lot of different things. Name some of the things you oversee before we talk about the hurricane.
Oh, good Lord. Just the list gets longer and longer. So I serve as the advisor for the program board as the Division of Student Government. And then the homecoming team, mascot team, university traditions program, as well as weeks of welcome.
What is the name of your mascot?
Mascot's name is Owsley.
Owsley. And what is your mascot, an owl?
Is a burrowing owl. So it's,
of course,
very, very specific. Yeah.
Right. It's safer to be a burrowing owl in a hurricane.
That's very true.
Right? Don't roost in the tree. Get thee underground, Owsley. Hey, how was the hurricane?
It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. It kind of, we've been having this thing in the past year where it seems like storms just want to graze the coast. So we'll get a lot of wind and a lot of rain, but not as bad as it probably could have been. I know it's kind of heading its way up to the Carolinas now. So they'll probably get a little bit worse of it than we did.
Yeah, to be clear, today is August 3rd. It is 2 p.m. on the East Coast, right? That's 2 something, yeah. So
3 p.m.
I'm in Nashville. It is an hour earlier. I've got more left in my day. So you've been doing a whole bunch of stuff virtually, which is awesome, which is why you were nominated. But all those awards that you've gotten, I think you almost could retire.
I wish.
You throw in the towel, you're like, drop the mic. Like, I've proved my point. Richard has left the building. Right? You just walk away.
It would be nice, yeah.
It'll be fun. You jumped right in. Tell me about some of the stuff you've been doing.
Sure. So our focus in our virtual programming has been to really give more meaningful experiences and more active experiences for our students. So we're focusing on things that they can not physically participate in, but be more active and a more active participant in our virtual programs rather than just more of a passive event that might just be watching an artist online without any chat function or not having something tangible in front of them to participate with. So we've really been striving to present as quality a program as possible instead of just throwing up a YouTube video.
Yeah. So and active means that your participants will do something other than gaze. What have you had any favorites?
One of the ones that we did that was a fan favorite that they've actually asked us to bring back for the fall is a paint class. So we actually ship the items to them to participate in the class. And then once they've received them a couple days later, we do a live stream of an actual painting class so they can physically do it with the person as it goes. Yeah.
That's really cool. And is that traditionally, I'm saying traditional, the traditional virtual event might be under an hour. Is the painting one more like flowy? Is it a 2-hour thing or is it shorter?
So we did 2 time periods for it that were each an hour. So we kind of put it along. One of our students' favorite classes that we do on site on campus is actually a Bob Ross style painting class. So they're already used to painting these within the hour. We leave the video link for them as well, so it's kind of recorded, so they can still continue if they need to catch back up or whatever it is as it goes.
That's cool. So it is led by a teacher.
Yes.
That's very neat. Did you participate in that?
I did not. I'm not the best drawing artist in the world, so I like seeing other people's creativity when it comes
Isn't that why you would take a class?
to that kind of stuff.
You've frozen. You froze there for a minute when
I'm
I asked you a
sorry.
question.
I'm sorry.
All right, no, it's a hurricane. We can blame the hurricane for everything. Hey, did you hear that we have COVID-19? You know who brought it? The hurricane.
That's
Yeah. Did you hear?
that was a running joke I saw on social media. Was the reason that the hurricane didn't come into Florida is because they wasn't wearing a mask, so we didn't let it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you now mask wearing this week?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Always. 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 I have like 10 of them laying around the house.
Yeah, you are. You are. But the state, is it now mandated?
It is not a statewide mandate. It is strongly encouraged by our state government. Our local officials have mandated it in Palm Beach County, Broward County, Miami-Dade, and I
Yeah.
believe a couple just north of us as well.
Yeah. Well, you're being careful. Um,
Right.
all right, at Florida Atlantic University, how many students do you have undergrad?
So undergraduate students on the Boca Raton campus sits about 22 to 23,000 in a given year,
Wow.
and about 4 to 6,000 of those, again depending on any given year, live on campus.
Okay, so that many, are they commuters, or do you also have an online program?
We're mostly commuter. There is a strong e-learning program, but the campus also has other regional campuses just north of our Boca Raton campus in Jupiter, as well as down in Fort Lauderdale, Davie. So it actually brings the total to anywhere between 29 to 30,000, depending on enrollment that year.
Right. And how do you reach out to that number of students when you're doing an event? Do you have access? Do you have email, or are you using social media, or does the school have a platform?
So we do have a platform through Campus Labs. It's called Al Central. So we really push
Yeah.
that really hard through orientation, that they know that for their time at the university.
Yeah.
For the most part, our reach is either in-person campaigning throughout campus for them to come to events, or social media. We do a
Yeah.
huge push on social media. We still don't hit everybody, but we do our best to try to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah. I mean, when you said you do that on campus, that's not this summer. Like are you
Right.
coming back? Are students coming back to campus?
So we will have a hybrid model
You will.
as of right now for fall. So
Yeah.
campus housing would be at about 80 to 82% capacity,
Yeah.
leaving some rooms open just in case that individuals have to quarantine.
Yeah.
And but the majority of our courses are going to be virtual for the fall.
Got it. A lot of schools that I've spoken with have made an attempt to really do a lot of homegrown events,
Mhm.
but you are a big fan of using professional help.
I am.
Tell me about that. Why have those events been successful, or why do you prefer that?
So our normal calendar for
Yeah.
the year, this is with the in-person events. We average about 80 events annually. So it's kind of with that calendar, it's a mixture of our homegrown events as well as some vendor in there.
Mhm.
I know that some schools don't have the opportunity to have larger budgets, and so I know bringing in those vendors is really hard.
Mhm.
For me, when we transitioned into the purely virtual for the spring, we had a lot of outstanding contracts with these vendors, and
Yeah.
it just didn't feel right to me to cancel everything. So we worked with a lot of them to try to adapt to meet the virtual needs of those individual programs, or reschedule them into the fall semester once they were able to create a virtual portion of those individual programs. Our students just get tired of looking at our faces from what I've seen. And so for them to be able to get resources from an outside vendor, I think it lends us to a higher quality program. And I see these vendors as a expert in their field when it comes to these kind of things. I know, and I just give a random example.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that I'm awful at wire writing,
Okay.
but I know that our students love Doug from
Okay.
Everything But the Mime, who does wire
Yeah.
writing. And
Right.
so
Right. Right.
I can't teach that. I can't do that. But we can bring in the individuals that are experts in their field and to give a higher quality virtual program in the process.
Right. And so in an event like the wire writing, is that you've done that virtually?
Yes,
That's great. That's great.
yeah,
So and then those products are shipped directly to the students?
correct.
Wow. And did it add much cost to the program?
So we had already had contracted for them to come to campus already,
Right,
and
right,
so there was a virtual discount that was added on to that to take out the travel costs and everything.
right.
Um, but it was a great quality program.
Yeah,
Students were able to watch the screen and watch Doug make them as he went, and he still interacted with them and talked to them and asked
right.
questions about how they were doing and everything, the same as he would if he was physically on campus.
That's great, and that's everything but the mime, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And what other vendors did you have success with this spring and summer?
Oh Lord. So we did a lot through Deggy.
Yeah,
So Deggy had Salsa Magic. So our students did some of the salsa classes there. Their Friday Night Live series was phenomenal in letting students be able to experience new and exciting artists and some national acts
right,
as
right.
well. We worked with Brave Enough
Yeah,
on some acoustic music series, which is actually a standard program that we have in the spring semester anyways. We do once a month and have an acoustic artist out on our patio. Um, Being able to adapt that was kind of one of our main goals for the spring, because we already had a lot of these artists contracted and we wanted
right,
to make sure that they still had business as well as our students still receiving the same types of programs that they would even if they were virtual.
right. That's neat. Hey, can we go back to Salsa Magic for a second?
Yeah.
So they are that's a dance class, isn't it?
Yes.
So people were in their homes just dancing along with the music.
Yep. Yeah. And
And,
they were commenting how they were
yeah,
had two left feet or whatever it was.
right,
It was
right.
really
That's
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
So I have my own version of Salsa Magic.
Okay.
Do you have a second for me to show you
Yeah.
something? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay, here I come. I'm coming back. Don't worry, you didn't lose me forever. Okay, this is okay, are you ready for my version of Salsa Magic?
I'm kind of scared.
Dun 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 dun. Salsa. Okay, that's not the magic part. That's not the magic part. Okay. Do 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 do. Magic. Did it work?
I appreciate it. I
Did
do.
it work? I,
Can I book you for weeks of welcome?
yeah, I'm
Oh, there.
available. My availability. I can do that trick over and over again. I mean,
That's funny.
yeah. Thank you. I had too much fun with that. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
goodness. I gotta share that
Look,
one.
out of everything you could have done, that was not what I expected.
I wasn't expecting it either.
Oh
And
God,
when you said salsa magic, that just like popped into my head. I was like,
it's so funny.
this is an interview. Sorry, Richard.
You're good.
Oh my gosh. So you went
Oh,
to college in South
I
Carolina, and now
did.
you're in Florida, but you went somewhere else in the middle, right? Did you go to
Uh,
another state?
I did. So when I graduated from my master's program at UF, I actually moved out to Washington State, and I worked
Ooh.
at Central Washington University. Yeah, I was like, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Well,
That's very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I just wanted something different, and I met them at the TPE Placement Exchange job interviews at NASPA's national conference, and just clicked really well. And
Yeah.
beautiful campus, very beautiful campus out there.
And that was how many years?
I was actually, so it's a funny story for that. So I was actually only there 9 months.
Oh.
Um, Well, because so when I went for my on-campus interview, it was in February, and so snow was on the ground and everything. I didn't realize at the time, growing up in Florida and then living in a city in South Carolina, that I was actually deathly allergic to hay. And
Oh. Yeah.
Ellen, yep, and Ellensburg, Washington is actually the West Coast's leading producer of Timothy hay, which you don't seem to get until May and June and July when
Okay.
I when I moved there. So, yeah, so it was the first couple months there was really hard from a health perspective,
Right.
trying to adapt. being from humid South Florida,
Right.
no
Right.
hay. Yeah.
Is hay like a hurricane? Like one year it's Timothy, and then next year it'll be something else, or is it always Timothy Hay?
For them, it was Timothy Hay.
Yeah.
So where Ellensburg is on the east side of the Cascades, and so
Right.
it's kind of desert climate. More than what you would really think about Washington, where Seattle is, where it's very moist off of the
Yeah.
Pacific.
Did you learn a lot about hay when you were out there?
I did. I really did. Because I we I was
Sorry,
I was sitting there
I
just
don't
trying to figure
know.
out what was wrong.
Yeah. Of course, because you
Yeah.
just feel right.
Yeah.
You're allergic to hay, and they have Timothy hay.
Yep.
What other names of hay are there?
After the Timothy Hayes situation, I
Yeah.
didn't even want to even know. So I just
Yeah.
stay away from it. And like even my students had this, oh, good Lord. 2 years ago, they have a board week in the
Right.
spring. And so, it's like a spring homecoming week kind of, with a theme. And so they did a Disney theme 2 years ago. And one of the main themes of it was Toy Story. And so they wanted to do this event called Woody's Roundup,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they had, a whole bunch of stuff, but they wanted to get hay bales because they thought it would make it more authentic.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I shut that down real quick. So
Right.
it's always an interesting conversation.
That is fun. Hey, okay. Heat maps on campus.
Yes.
Tell me what that means.
Heat maps are provided from our registrar's office.
Yeah.
And so they let us know when courses are happening on campus. So we utilize those as well as our social media. We created our own heat maps to see when our highest engagement was throughout the day,
Okay.
so we can kind of coordinate where we think our best reach will be, on our marketing, both in person and on social.
Yeah.
And because for the most part, students, and what we found is they're on their social media in the beginning of a class, which they probably shouldn't be.
But you're finding that that's when they're.
Yes, and the tail end of a class, because they're ready to leave. So we try to catch them in between courses for the most part, both in person and on social media, when we know they're going to be most active in those spaces.
That's really interesting to think about. Like, what time of day are students most actively engaging on their
Yep.
devices? Or and where do you get that information? Is it the individual platforms that you get the heat maps from? You said the registrar has that?
So our registrar's office provides it to the Division of Student Affairs, at our university.
Yeah.
And again, it changes in the beginning part of a semester as people start to drop courses as well. So we'll receive updated ones as well. But for social media, we actually created our own based on the insights that are provided from each platform.
Gotcha.
So we really just looked at, all right, if we post, and we did sample posts. So we're like, if we post Monday morning at this time, how much engagement do we get compared to this? And then we base that all off of the on-campus heat maps as well.
Oh, that's really interesting. That's great advice to all the other schools out there to actually utilize
Mhm.
that, because it really exists in all the social media platforms.
Yes.
You can see when folks are checking your posts, and that's great advice. We've learned a lot today from you. We've learned a lot. I developed a whole new offering. Uh, I bet I could turn the LaCroix back into salsa. What do you think?
I don't know.
I better practice that when
It
we're not
would
on
be a
the
very, bubbly salsa.
be very bubbly. Hey, more about you.
Okay.
Classic cars.
Classic cars are a thing.
Yeah, you love them.
Yeah, I do. I grew up with them. My dad is a massive car nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him earlier today. He's got his '87 Buick Grand National that he is enthralled with.
Great.
Yeah, I have my '66 Chevelle in the garage, and then my daily driver is actually a 1991, Trans Am GTA.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, you like cars.
I do.
And behind you, there's a picture, a painting, a poster of football.
Yeah, so I've had this actually,
Yeah.
much to my girlfriend's dismay, probably, since college. It's actually from a, Saturday Evening Post, cover. And so
Yeah.
they made it bigger and made it look like a painting, but
Oh,
huge,
cool.
huge football nut. Yeah.
Any I mean, do you have a favorite team?
Yes. For for college football is Gators, because I went to Florida,
Yeah.
and I grew up in Florida, so I grew up a Gators fan.
Yeah.
And my undergrad didn't have football, unfortunately,
Yeah.
so I cheer them on in basketball and all the other sports.
Yeah.
And for the NFL, and unfortunately, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. But no one can ever say that I'm a bandwagon fan,
Right.
because
Yeah.
no matter what, I stick with them. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And it's always sunny there. Hey, the other fun fact about you is your love of Jafar from
Yes.
Aladdin, from the movie Aladdin. And I don't think this is like if I said to a group of people
Mm-hmm.
in any setting, anywhere in the world, and I said, "Hey, what's your favorite character from any Disney movie?" Very, very rarely, if never, has anybody given me a villain
Yeah.
as their favorite. So tell me about this. What's the interest in Jafar, or is it your secret side? Do you have an alter ego?
You're the first person to ever asked me that question. And as far as like the villain side of it, I don't know. It was every time so I'm a Disney annual pass holder up until this year, of course, with all the COVID stuff. And my favorite parade they ever do in stage shows and everything, it's always villains. And I don't know. I think they just don't get enough credit in the storylines. I think some of them are just they're misunderstood. With Jafar, Aladdin was always my favorite movie growing up.
Yeah.
And so Jafar, I don't know, I just thought he was cool, and he had this swagger about him, and he was so ambitious, and I know it's completely wrong, and he's kind of creepy in part of the movie too.
Yeah.
I get it. But no, I just always thought he was a really cool character that balanced out that story really well, with Aladdin and Jasmine.
Well, do you think that maybe because of your work with students and you want to elevate the student experience, you want to make sure the students are having a great experience, like if Jafar had not been in the movie, Aladdin would have just been a dude. Like you had to have Jafar. So are you like Jafar for your students' positive experience?
Oh man.
Do you,
Maybe.
do you secretly
Yeah.
do you secretly sabotage them so that
No.
they have to overcome obstacles?
No. They probably see me more as Iago, because I'm constantly trying to teach them, and they probably get annoyed with my voice. But no, I guess I could see it that way. Yeah, because some things wouldn't happen. Really, that whole storyline wouldn't happen if Jafar wasn't there.
Oh yeah, any Disney movies without the evil character, they're not very good movies. You do really need that person.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, without every Disney movie, every like really everyone, there's the evil villain, and they make, make the story better. They have to exist. All right. So you mentioned your voice in the last sentence you said. How is it? Is it warmed up?
I mean, it can be.
All right.
I guess. Let me get my water.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite song from the movie Aladdin?
Favorite song from the movie Aladdin. It's got some jams.
Some jams. I mean, you could be dancing around a lamp, or you could be singing with Jasmine.
I think A Whole New World has got to be. That's a great one. Yeah.
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 Shall we?
If you want to.
You want to start it?
Oh Lord. Now you're gonna make me do this. I'm not gonna remember the lyrics.
Do you know the first verse? Do you know the first line of the first verse?
It says, "I can show you the world."
All right. I'll just you tell you what. You serenade me.
He says, "I can show you the world, shiny, shimmering splendor. Tell me, princess." I can't remember the rest of it.
Let's go right to the chorus then.
It's a whole new world, dazzling place I never knew. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new. Oh, such a great song. And that was a great version of it.
There you go.
Great version.
You could book me too.
Yeah, that's right. We'll do it. We'll do a. It's a combo package. It's it's magic with stuff from the fridge and parts of Disney songs.
There you go.
Right. We learned a lot from you today. The heat maps, I think, is going to be a really helpful tool for folks moving forward. Like, figure out when your students are on there. You are a proponent of using outside vendors for the sake of providing different content to your students.
Yeah.
Even though you're capable of singing Disney songs, it's also okay to bring in outside performers, right?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Please do. And congratulations on your awards, and continue to get more and more awards. And thank you for connecting the students to your university. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir. Thanks
Richard
for having me.
Mahler, everybody.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.